Now, just a minute. What do you do if you have an older, if you've just bought an older comic? What do you do with it? So, like I said, let's say you buy an older comic. Maybe you got it at a flea market. Maybe you picked it up at your yard sale. Or maybe you bought it online from eBay or from one of us. What's the first thing you should do? Watch this. So you've picked up an older comic book and you're not really sure what to do with it. Let me show you what I do when I get one. I have here Justice League of America number 22. I just picked this up not too long ago, a couple of days ago. And the first thing, of course, you want to do is make sure you have a poly bag, a new poly bag and board that is appropriately sized. Now, I use Mylar for things that are going in my collection, so that's what I've got here. I have a Silver Age Mylar with a Silver Age backing board. Actually, it was a larger backing board that I cut down to size. Poly bags work fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I just prefer Mylar because I like the way the comic look. So you take it out of the old bag, if it is in one. If you picked it up at like a yard sale, it might just be loose. And the first thing you want to do is check it for completeness. Make sure the comic is there, all of it. And we'll see if we can get a focus on this. Apparently it doesn't want to autofocus like it's supposed to. I'm going to take it off autofocus. It's supposed to be working and it isn't. It's great for taking still photos, but not much for when I'm doing a film or a video. So you want to open it up. Now this one has the dreaded subscription crease. What caused that is companies would fold the comic over and mail them to you. So nothing we can do about that. Automatically makes it at best very good, but that's a different video. So let's take a look at each page, and while we're doing that, let's do something else as well. Okay, go back to the beginning. What I'm going to do is I have a microfiber cloth, and that's what I prefer to use on this for initial things like this. Make sure there's nothing on it. This is an older one. I need some new ones. And just, what we're going to do is just make sure there's no loose dirt on it. And as we go through and check out the pages, we're going to do the same thing to each page. We're going to check them out, and we're going to make sure there's no dirt on them. Now, I'm not going to go through every single page right now. Well, I am, but I'm not going to take a video of me doing every page right now. But this is also a good time to read the comic if you haven't read it yet. So I'll do a couple of more pages. And like I said, all I'm doing is making sure there's no dust or dirt on the inside of the comic. Now this doesn't count any kind of ground-in dirt or anything like that. It's just loose dirt that might be on the top. And you'd be amazed how often there is dirt on a comic book. On the inside. So what's the purpose of this? make the comic last longer. At the same time you're doing this, you're also checking the smell. If it's got a vinegary smell, that means there's acids present, and that's not a good thing. If it's a stronger than vinegar smell, you really got a problem. It should smell like old newsprint, because that's what it is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish the comic, and then I'll get back to the next step. All right, I've gone through the whole thing, and wiped it down. No dust or dirt on there anymore. The comic is complete. There was no pages missing, no coupons cut or anything like that. So next, I just want to check out the spine. I don't see any spine splits. This is actually a pretty nice copy. So it could use a cleaning. I don't think I'm going to do that. Not at this point. I may do that at a later date. But as of right now, I'm not going to bother cleaning it. Because cleaning it is not going to change the fact that it's still a very good copy because of the crease. Now, if it didn't have this crease in it, this subscription crease in it, cleaning it might bring it up to, you know, very good to fine. But with that crease in it, there's no way. So there's no sense in cleaning the comic. I may at a later date just because the dirt bothers me, but as of right now, I have no intention of cleaning it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the board out a little bit. Not all the way, just a little bit. And this is a used Mylar. I had a different comic in it that I have since sold and didn't include the Mylar in it. So there you go. That's all I do. I go through it. I make sure the comic is complete. I wipe it down with a microfiber cloth just to get any loose dust or dirt off of it. And it's ready to go into my collection.
So there you go. That's what I do. Now you might ask why I worry about the dirt on the inside of a comic anyway. One of the very first comics I ever pressed had a little tiny pebble, a little piece of gravel. It's so small you wouldn't even think about it. And I pressed it into the comic and ruined the comic. I vowed never to do that again. So now when I get a comic, the first thing I do is I wipe down the pages. Doesn't sound like much, but it works. And I haven't had any problem since. Of course, my older comics that I've had for years and years and years, when I get ready to press them, I go through that same procedure. And there you have it. A little long, but just a minute.